Hello folks, Boober here. Here's some modern for you. That is Griselhoalbrand on the left and Abzan Company on the right. And that's a gifted matchup. I'd say the Rain deck is better positioned right out now in the format than Abzan Coco, but it's still alright. You can fine tune the deck quite a bit, and I'm not sure if I had the new addition to the deck that day when I recorded this. Perhaps I did, and that is the Relier. Forgot the first part of the name. Anyway, it's a green-white 3-mana 3/2 creature that gives you back into play a permanent with that costs 2 or less. So into play, if you trigger 3 volts, that is basically if you ate something with Viscera or cracked a fetch land or something like that. And it's kind of just a dude that complements Eternal Witness in the deck, and also can be flipped from um, Collected Company. If I did put a couple of those into my deck that day, then I had, I think, 2 copies. I'm not sure how many I want to run. You can justify playing somewhere between 1 and 3, depends on your build and what you want to do. Some have cut Murderous Redcap from the deck to fit those in. I'm not sure if I want to do that. But the problem I have with playing a lot of copies of that Relier is that you pretty much would have to cut the Archangel Foon plus Spike Feeder. Okay, he shows me a pretty wacky hand with a land, but not really smooth draws, so his hand would be pretty slow. I think he just simply didn't have a second land, just a couple of Spirit Guides. And against me, I think he wants as fast a hand as possible, probably. Especially game 1, when I can't really interact with much of what he's doing. Sorry for a shaky cam. It's just the tripod was on the same table. I hope you can see left auto here. Anyways, I will walk you through everything that's gonna be happening here in this tape. Basically, the matchup gets somewhat better after Sidebird for me. Problem is, because Dredge is gone, I can't really justify having Big Anaffenza in the deck as a corridor company target. Scavenginous is kind of slow, but because it's much better against this deck than, for example, Dredge, then instead of Scholar I have Fotsy, so I can actually, try to disrupt his kind of combo on time. The problem is, like, Path is not really all that great against that deck, but it's, like, probably better than nothing. Sometimes if they're low in life, you can try to, make it so that they're just gonna die if they pay 7 life. For example, if they're at 7 life, and or let's say at 8, so they can't, for example, crack a Fatulant then. Really. Also, by the way, you can try to buy some time by just jumping with birds and eating them with the seer, so that this way that they don't gain life, and the using ability kind of painful. I went down to 17 of a fetch and overgrown tomb into seer. He just has a mire and an island in play, and that's it. So he can always Easy Charm. Basically, the blue splash in this deck is mainly for Easy Charm, and some sideboard tools. But Charm, it's as far as we go for blue, for main deck, I think. I think he had that weird Arcane Spells Tutor in his deck that can get actually quite a few useful things. But I've never been a fan of that package. All the spells that you can tutor I mean, those arcane ones are often much worse than something normally would have at that cost, and they are worse just because they're arcane, so they have that synergy. Attacked with the Seer, fetch the planes, and I think it's Melira? He's not cracking that fetch just yet. Perhaps he's... I think I passed the turn. I think he already drew his card for the turn. Or not. Didn't catch a glimpse of that. Well, he's at 18 and there is a tapped crypt, so I think it's at my end. I think that's probably... I know, it's not a Melira, it's Wallifers. It's really hard to get proper lightning, not lightning, but lighting. To be able to distinguish everything at all times. Luckily I caught a glimpse. So... think he can try to do some stuff here. Think he has some rituals already in hand. And if he has a Manamorphose in hand, he can actually, get things going. Yeah, he starts with a Manamorphose. Not sure what mana he took there. So he's gonna... I think that's Collective Brutality to kill Seer and make me discard something, so he's fishing for companies or chords in my hand. He discarded Griselhoalbrand. Not whole, but Griselbrand. So he missed. I think it was 3 lands, another Seer, and a Witness, I believe. Which is good news for him. But if I don't draw anything significant, then I don't know how I'm supposed to win this game. Falling down to 14 because of Shocklands and stuff. Okay, well, Fruits, Witness, took mana off the wall to cast Witness so that I can cast Seer in the same turn. It's still pretty bad, I think. Vengeance is coming. Griselhoalbrand in play. He can safely draw a bunch of cards right now. I'm not sure why I ate Witness here at this point in the game. Because even if I get Chord Calling, I can't really cast it. So he drew a buttload of cards with the Griselhoalbrand's ability. We see all sorts of useful stuff in there. Basically, with some Spirit Guides and the 3rd land, he can go nuts here. He can pretty much go nuts here. So, 2 guides, 2 red and pull. Think that's... Okay, so that's a green shawl, get rid of the worm, splicing the ritual. Now he gets more life, now he can draw even 14 more if he really wants to. All he needs at this point, I think, is just more ways to produce mana, some more guides or rituals, and then... I know he used the Manamorphose, and I think he only runs 1 in the deck. Perhaps there is a second one, I don't know, I don't think so. But then if he gets black land, then he can cast another Vengeance and then bring into play Barbarigmas Enraged and just start throwing lands at me. And there are not that many lands he needs at this point. Because I'm at 14, so that means what? 5 lands? Okay, there's Through the Breach. So, yeah, okay. He didn't have black mana, but he ritualed enough to get to the Through the Breach point, and now there's Barbarigmas. And he didn't even attack yet with his stuff, I think. Yeah. Or did he? No, he didn't. Okay, so it's raining lands, hallelujah, and I'm done here. He didn't even attack with either Barbarigmas or Griselhoalbrand, so he didn't even have to do that. Well, that was, what? Turn 4? Combo on the play? Is that right? Did I miss a land? I think I missed the 4th land here. Or no, I didn't, because I had quite a few in my hand. So that was, yeah, I think turn 4 on the play, which is not super fast. Or was it turn 3? You probably notice better. Okay, game 2. Because this one was pretty damn fast and not really that interactive. So snapping one more before siding. We have this Energies of Turkin because we actually played a bit of Standard that day as well. Basically, I know that in Finland, like, you have few Abzan company players, but not that many. And I think Reanimator is a better deck choice for the open weekends. I'm not talking about just Logwall finish Modern Open and stuff like that. But in the big capitals, you often have some big modern event from time to time. This season's PPTQs are standard anyway, but I don't know, maybe next season might as well be modern. I would actually love that, because even though I've been preparing and testing standard, I would love to have modern season for those qualifiers again. Even though I didn't get a PT invite this season, I mean last RPTQ season with when it was still modern. Let's see what is going to happen at this regional in standard. I just need to play and adjust the decks a lot, and that's it. I don't think I want to play one of the so-called best decks in standard right now. Probably want to play something that actually beats the best decks, and maybe just marginally gonna be worse against the rest of the field. Because at regional qualifiers, that's probably what you're gonna face, just most of the Tier 1 decks. But at big modern opens, you could expect quite a few things. So that's the point of this short story, is that you need to identify what, let's say, type of tournament you're about to play up next in modern. And in modern, if you have not super grind festy community, then there will be a lot of pet decks. You gotta be ready for them. There was a Thicket into Noble for me and just a Mire for him. Township into Finks, I believe. Hoping for a combo in a couple of turns, if I get lucky. But he does have interaction against that. Brutality that you saw last game, which is a pretty good tool for this deck actually. It's a discard outlet plus some disruption. And this deck needs more of that sort of thing rather than Tormenting Voice or Cathartic Reunion. You don't just need to go like super off, you just need to resolve a couple particular cards. I think he just discarded Griselhoalbrand due to hand size, even though he had lands, and that's not a very surprising technique for Reanimator decks or Dredge decks. I have an Offensa here and Melira, so I just need to find Seer somehow, sometime around. Things coming in for some damage, for 4 damage to be exact. Draws for the turn. Now he can safely play a land because he does have the big guy in the graveyard, so he can just try to go off. I think now it's pretty much safe if he thinks he can actually pull this off. He just needs to find Vengeance or some rituals to go through the breach. No, he actually just needs Vengeance here. Just needs to find Vengeance. His second land is a swamp. He has Easy Charm. Is it Shockland already? I mean Steam Dance. So he's just passing the turn, possibly living up Easy Charm or something like that. Probably that's his plan. Because, for example, if I would just attempt Collected Company now, then he would actually be able to stop it. Attack with the team, have Cavani mana up. Actually trying to beat down is not the worst strategy against Reanimator, because if I put him around 7, then for him going off becomes a bit tricky. So he has nothing. I use Township because I don't really have a better play this turn, and that's my only hope. That's okay. He goes for Vengeance actually at the end of my turn, so he gets to keep the Griselhoalbrand for his turn. Otherwise it would be gone at the end. Yeah, you can do that. It was a pretty smart play from him, though I think my shields were pretty much down last turn, so I don't know what he was scared of. It's kind of weird. Okay, so he went into attack mode, gained 7 life, and used those gained life to activate it, to draw 7, and tried to go off. I think the reason that he did this the way he did, while I couldn't really respond, was the fact that now he actually has mana in excess, so he can cast stuff like Looting and try to find Barbarigmas. Okay, Green Shoal happening. I think he gets rid of Barbarigmas instead of the Worm. So drawing more cards. He's at 5, I'm at 14. So if he finds all the pieces, another Barbarigmas, and a way to put him into play, and again he only needs to throw 5 lands at my face, and that's it. And that'll be game. And that would be game. He has Further Breach in hand. I think he has enough way to like generate mana, though I'm not so sure. So he needs to find another Barbarigmus, I guess. That's the plan. Yeah, he has some couple rituals in hand already, I see him. And then he could just play the third land and that's it. But now he needs to um, find some mana to cast looting and stuff like that. Well, if he has like 2 spirit guides, that could be enough. I think the next step is just to cast Luton and just try to find Barbarigmus. That's all he needs, I think. If he has 2 guides, then a third land and 2 rituals, that's enough. Trust 2. Discard. Wait, what? Discards Barbarigmus and something, I think. And then Vengeance, okay. And that's it. He has enough lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. 6. Well, that happens. That happens. And yeah, it might as well could have been even Junt casting some discard spell, a Goyf Lily, make him discard a couple of cards, and I still could have lost. Because, well, you can't really discard the top deck. Well, you can kind of do that with Kolgan's command, but you get my point. I'm thinking of bringing in Fulminators just to slow him down, plus on the play, off of a bird, they're actually a good thing. I mean, decent. I'm thinking about paths, whether they actually accomplish anything. Of course I bring in Thoughtseizes. Paths are arguable. So I was thinking maybe to take out the charm and 3 mana kill a guy. No, I think he's actually thinking to bring those in, like 1 extra charm and the arcane spell that basically is like a Doomblade. He's looking at Pyroclasm. If that's what it is, then he definitely should bring that in. He doesn't need extraction against me, I don't think. Pyroclasm is good. Don't think he needs anything like Thoughtseize or something. If he has spare brutalities in the sideboard, then those are pretty good against me. Kills a guy plus takes a Company of Cord out of my hand. I know I didn't have Realier yet in my deck that day, it seems. So yeah. Fin Hunter is interesting, but again, probably too slow. Don't need the Red Cap, Infinite Life is enough against him. Don't need Archangel plus Feeder. Don't need more than 2 Eternal Witness, I think. Don't need Spellskite. Don't need all 4 chords. Because I'm bringing in a bunch of spells, maybe taking out 1 company is a thing. But then again, I think I should have kept the chord and the company and not bring in the paths. Because he's doing everything at kind of instant speed or something. Oftentimes he doesn't even need to, connect with the creatures. He can just win without that. Okay, he's bringing in an extra through the bridge. which is probably okay considering that I bring in Thoughtseize. Means that he has more enablers to draw into if I, let's say, start chaining Thoughtseize into Witness. Thinking of taking one ritual, that's interesting. Taking out the looting is fine. He's taking out an island in Manwerfos? Is that for real? That's rather interesting. Don't exactly see what's the fifth card he's taking out. Maybe a reunion or something like that. Though that would be kinda odd. Oh well. I guess all the brutalities are in main deck. Probably like 2 copies or something. Really like that card in that deck. Even main deck. That's pretty much everything you want. As a bonus, could get you a bit of extra life to, either finish off your opponent when you just don't have that one extra land for Barbarigmas, or just, what was that? Gain you a couple of lives that you need to use Griselhoalbrand an extra time, for example. Blue Splash in that deck is kind of a freebie, so if you can, you probably should splash below. Because Easy Charm is awesome in that deck. Pretty much on the same power level as the Collective Brutality, because you get interactions against creatures and spells, and when you don't see anything threatening, you can just loot with it. It's just awesome in that deck. Even though it's not the most effective spell, but the flexibility is through the roof. Though you can just go by with straight black-red build of this deck. But this additional interactivity could be very vital sometimes at the big event. Could be the difference between winning and losing a match. What I'm looking at is basically some way to establish a fast combo, or Thoughtseizes, or maybe Monadork into Fulminator to slow him down to draw into companies and chords, things of that nature. I don't think I should have, side in paths, because they don't really do that anything. I think I would much have rather had that extra wall of roots for turn 3 company or something like that, and extra companies and cores, because I took one of each out, because, for example, company is gonna be arguably worse after siding in so many spells, and it's not really on the fast side either. But a lot of the time when he doesn't have a fast kill, then drawing that 4th company or 4th chord would be much better than drawing a path, for example. Path can of course sometimes accelerate me as well if I would really need to, if he goes like Pyroclasm or something. I'm trying to think what was the best way of my deck back in the days to side against Reanimator. Don't think he actually had land in his hand at all. Okay, he drew one. But yeah, it was the classic spirit guide into looting. Yeah, I brought in the fulminators, but even though I lost the previous one, we shifted gears, we shifted turns. So he started. But yeah, if I have mana dork, then fulminator is good. So now pretty much any fetch lands, and fulminator would be pretty fantastic here, because he's probably fetching the shockland here. He does have a Paraclasm in hand, but I don't think he's gonna use it now. I imagine he's gonna fetch for Steam Vents. No, Blood Crypt. I guess he has blue mana in hand already. Like an island, actually, or something. But yeah. Paraclasm could wreck me a little bit next turn. Simon Spirit Guide, and I think he goes for Vengeance here. Yeah. That's quite ballsy. He thinks that he has pretty much everything. Okay, I didn't take any pain just yet. Okay, he actually decides to draw some cards before attack. Because then if he gets enough mana, like a second land, another guide into Ritual or something like that, into Through the Breach, then not attacking could be a thing. Just waiting. Okay, draws another 7. So I imagine right now he's probably at something like what? He took 2 for the... No, he actually fetched... but that crypt came in tapped. Yeah, so 19 minus 14, so he's at 5 right now, I believe. He needs another land and a lot of mana. Okay, so green shell, nourishing shell for World Spine Worm is coming into the picture. Gain in 11 and continuing the cycle. Draws another 7. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty much going turn 2 combo on the play. I don't think if I would have been John and let's say cast something like Inquisition on turn 1, I don't think that would have really saved me. Maybe I would get lucky and discard the Vengeance out of his hand or something. But yeah, pretty nasty. I now feel like I want to actually have some like surgical extraction in my sideboard. Okay, there's another shawl, and he splices for free the kill spell, kills the bird. I think the splice cost is just to remove some cards from the graveyard. So he Doombladed my bird, basically. Drawing more cards. Because there was a second shoal cast just now, so he can draw most of his deck. He doesn't have any mana in pull right now. Okay, drawing more cards it seems. And I'm like just throwing my hand on the table. Like, why, God, why? why that kept happening. He even got to kill my bird without using mana. So he's counting now. Here's land number 2. It's very good. So he has 2 red and pool. Here's another shoal, I believe. Yeah. For another worm, splicing the ritual. He has free and pull. A bunch of lives, so he can even draw the last cards if he really wants to, but I don't think he need. Okay, that's one Marshall pitching Barbarigmas this time. Splicing, that's same ritual again, so he's at 4 mana. Now he just needs 1 more mana to go for the breach and throw into play the Barbarigmas and just kill me. Okay, he spliced 2 rituals of each other, casted splice again or something like that for the breach anyway happening. I guess he does have a Barbarigmas in his hand at this point. He's bound to. He pitched 1 to a shoal. But he does have life to work with. Guess he's just checking what is left in the deck. Or something. Anyways, drawing the last few cards in the deck. Not the entire one, but still. I think now he actually found it, like the second Barbarigmas. Oh no, just through the bridge to wall, Spiring Worm for extra points for a stylish victory. I'm just attacking with the Worm for 15 and Griselhoalbrand for 7. Yeah, that's it. That's how busted Reanimator is, and that's a deck that probably should see more play now in modern format. Okay guys, that's it for this match. I hope you enjoyed us. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the social links for extra content. And yeah, feel free to express your ideas in the comments below for any articles or whatever reviews you feel like I should do. And yeah, see you next time for more standards, modern, and other materials. Until next sale, goodbye folks.